What's up and welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I am going to be showing you guys what my monthly budget is going to look like for the month of September. I typically budget by paycheck. I get paid twice a week. But still, I like to do an overview of how the month is going to look, and then I split it into two. And so I am doing a few changes in my budget for the month of September. I want to make room for fall clothes because my kids need new clothes, as well as just some other things that I have going on. And I only budget most of the time using my income from my day job. I do not use any other income because it's really up and down, and I just don't want to rely on my other sources of income. I want my living expenses to be just basically my day job. And so I'm on salary. My income rarely changes. So after my deductions and my FSA and HSA contributions, as well as the 401k, I have an income of $2,930 for the month of September. And then I am going to include just a little extra from my other sources. And also the child tax credit is coming up as well, up on the 15th. So I'm going to include that also. And so for income two, I will have an income of $660.50, with the majority being the child tax credit for this. All right. And with my expenses, the way I like to budget, because I don't like it to be where things are changing every single month. I like for my budget to have stability, so I don't really change my budget too much. But for my expenses, especially my non-essentials like rent, insurance, the way that I have it set up, it's always the same amount. So anytime an expense comes over, there's always a little buffer that it can pull from, because most of the time I do come under budget for what I'm actually budgeting for, because strategically I overshoot a little bit. So it will have a little buffer in my bills account to pull from. So for rent, my rent, I obviously don't have to overshoot because it's going to be the same amount. And I currently just pay $700 in rent every single month. And for insurance, I have renter's insurance. That's just $15 with my plan. I have no repairs that I am budgeting for since I rent, no taxes, but toiletries, I do budget $80 for toiletries. That's shampoo, soap, lotion, things like that, laundry detergent, so $40 per paycheck. Now for gas, my apartment is all electric, so I don't have gas, but for water, I budget $75. And typically my water bill is like $60, $70, but having that overage in my account, in my bills account, does help, because sometimes it can be over the 75. And for electric, I budget $125, and this is all year round. So I often come within the $80 range, but I do know during some seasons it will be higher than $80. So I keep it at $125 for the whole 12 months. Trash and sewer, I don't have to worry about that. But for my internet bill, it's $70. And I did negotiate this. This was as low as they were willing to go, unfortunately. But I still saved myself like $40 from the plan they were trying to put me on. by actually opening my mouth and negotiating. So that is a tip for you guys. It doesn't hurt to ask, let them know, hey, this is over my budget. What can we do to get this down? And typically they want to keep your service if you're a good customer, so they are more willing to work with you. For my phone bill, I budget $80 per month. And this is typically like right on the money with this. For debt, I don't have any debt right now. I am still currently debt free. And for healthcare, this is automatically taken out of my paycheck. So the amount that I have here has these amounts pulled. For personal, this is where it's getting into what's going to be changing for the month of September. I said in a previous video that I typically budget $120 per paycheck, so $240 a month. This is no longer working for me and my family. We're cutting it way too close. Sometimes I come over budget. And obviously, if you can continue to go over budget, number one, you're going to feel this sense of shame and frustration. And that's a telltale sign that you need to probably increase your budget if you're doing everything that you can to make sure that you're staying within that budget and it's just not working. So I will have to increase this. So instead of $260 for the month of September, I am going to increase it to $300. That's because this is for me, my 2 kids, and I have my niece basically full time. So I have 3 kids and she is part of these funds now. And it took me a little while to realize why I was coming over budget and it just wasn't working anymore. But that's because I now have an extra child. So $300 for personal funds. I am going to keep my beauty budget the same and actually include it in September's budget. My beauty budget basically just goes for skincare. Like if I need new soap or new oils or anything like that, I will just pull from this cash envelope, and I give myself $30 per paycheck. So that's going to be the same $60 that I've been at for the past year for beauty. All right, now so on to the lower portions. For gas, since gas has increased and it's pretty much stayed at where it's at right now, I did have my budget at $70 a month, well, a paycheck, so $140 per month. But I'm adding an additional $20 to that, so $80 per paycheck, and that's going to make it $160 for the month of September. I think that that's pretty fair. I don't really go too many places besides dropping and picking up my kids. And for my car insurance, that is going to be $60 for the month of September. And for car maintenance, I try to prepare for upcoming oil changes and things like that. I did just get quite a bunch of work done for my car, so I am good for the next 2 months when it comes to oil changes, probably a little bit more as long as I don't get crazy with the driving. But I try to always budget $30, so $15 a paycheck. My oil changes are typically like $70, so that gives me about a month, a little over a month to prepare for my oil changes. So I'm just going to keep it at $30 right now. My tires and everything are good, and I have a little amount in a car repair sinking fund, but eventually I am going to have to increase this for sure. But just right now in September, we're going to keep it at $30. Now, takeout, that's included in my personal funds. In the future, I am probably going to separate takeout from this $300. But typically what we do with our personal funds is mostly eating out. And so to me, personal takeout, same thing. It's for my pleasure, our entertainment. And so that's why I'm going to leave this blank. And for groceries, I budget $180 per paycheck, so $360 per month for groceries. And I'm going to leave that the same. That pretty much, I pretty much come under budget, and that's because right now school lunch is free for the kids, and that really does help out. Now, the majority of the time, they don't like the school lunch, so I wind up packing my daughter and my niece lunch boxes, but Lunchables are the shiz, and ham sandwiches are the shiz. And so that really does keep me from having to increase my grocery budget. So we're just going to rock with 360 right now and pray that is enough. Now on other, I am going to add in a line for this. I do have it in my Excel spreadsheet, but I don't have it on here. I probably should have just put laser, but I do get laser done. I purchased or signed up for a laser package as my debt-free gift to myself. And so it's not on credit or anything, but if I stop making my monthly payments, then they stop taking me for appointments. So it's basically like I'm paying per appointment, and that is $82. And I am almost done paying for that package, but it's still part of my budget right now. Not gonna lie, I cannot wait to be done with the package because I could really use this $82. So I'm excited to work it back into my budget. And I do have Disney Plus. I budget $8 for that. And so I'm gonna put that down here in other. And now for the savings. So I did say that I am saving up for my kids' fall clothes. I do want to contribute $150. So I want to contribute $150. I know that may not look like a 5, but it's $150, and I want a total of $300, but I think $150 half will allow me to get half of their clothes for the cooler months in September. And so that is what I am going to be putting in the sinking fund for this month. And nothing for my emergency funds. That's because the amount is automatically sent off per paycheck. But I went ahead and pulled over what I needed from the emergency fund to get it back to $10,000 from the previous down payment fund goal that I had. And so I am left now with a new savings goal, which I will make a video about. But I typically send $320 off to savings per paycheck. So $640, that's what's set up as an automatic contribution. But I'm going to kind of wait and see where I am at when it comes to my totals to see if I need to adjust that. And I also want a buffer as well. I typically have like a $20 buffer. So I'm going to take out my calculator and see what I am left with. Okay, so we have $29.30 from my day job, $660.50 from extra income, so $3,590.50 as it stands, unless something comes up and I get extra money that I feel comfortable adding in. And so I'm going to take out my rent, take out my insurance, which is $15, toiletries, water, the electric bill, internet, which I hate that I pay that much for internet, but whatever, $80 for my phone, $8 for Disney Plus, I have gas, I have car insurance, maintenance, groceries, I have personal funds accounted for, beauty accounted for, Ideal Image accounted for, $150 for my sinking fund. And now I did leave out childcare, so I don't know how, but that is a big one. So I am right now at $450, and I use the majority of the child, but I am expecting this to double once those finally run out. And so I'm just piling up the money in my flexible spending account for childcare. I have not been touching that money just so when the vouchers run out, I'm not so overwhelmed with this new expense or an increased amount that it's requiring from me. And so right now I'm at 450. That's totally doable, especially with the majority or all of it being paid from the child tax credit right now. And so I'm going to subtract that 450 out, and that leaves me with $785.50. So if I keep my 640 contribution, that leaves me at 145.50. So I think I'm going to keep that the same. I do want a buffer of $20. So I think I'm just going to add a line down here. Sorry, I'm standing sideways. So buffer of $20. I do also have some automatic savings contributions coming from my pay to my kids' accounts as well. My daughter, she has a 529 plan, and I also have UGMAs or UGMAs for both of my kids. And those contributions, they are pretty small, but the earnings do pile up on themselves. So I'm one that does not believe that you have to contribute a lot of money to have your investments be worthwhile, especially if you have a lot of time. And my kids are very young, so we have a lot of time. So $40 or $20 per paycheck is automatically put into my daughter's 529s. And then that leaves me with $85.50, and I automatically have $15 to her UGMA account and then $20 to my son's UGMA account. So I still have $50.50 left over. And I'm thinking that I probably want to put that in the buffer as well, to be completely honest, you guys. I'm really thinking that I should do that. So when it comes to their investments, so that's $75 that I am going to put here. And then I'm going to change my buffer to $70.50. That's to zero everything out. I like zero-based budgets just because if I see something remaining, it kind of makes me panic and freaks me out, to be completely honest. But this is it. I'm just checking one last time to make sure that I have not forgotten anything, because that can happen. But rent, insurance, all of my utilities, gas, takeout, looks like we are pretty good to go. I have childcare, and so as long as I close out this month and everything is good, then anything that I have remaining, I will put back in savings or the sinking fund. But this $70 is going to be about $35 per paycheck, which is pretty good, pretty standard for me. And this is what September is looking like for me, you guys. And I'm also going to start doing budget recap. So at the end of September, I will use the actual field to plug in what I actually spent, just so I can see and review how well September was, if I have any extra money, what I'm going to do with it. And we will continue to do this each month. If you enjoyed this video, I really hope that you subscribe, share how you do your budget down in the comments, and